All righty, I'm with you. All right, obviously very, very well done. There's just a couple minor things. You did a really good job with the fourth movement, bringing the melody out. It's in two as well. The second movement, that melody's kind of in there too. Bring it out as good as you did that. That was the only thing that I heard was, yeah, it could be a little bit better.
Oh.
I mean, but all the work that you've done, I mean, you know your scales, obviously.
Oh.
So everybody in here practice your scales. That's just scales all up and down the place. You're a senior.
Yes.
It's time for you to think about, are you gonna play in college?
I want to, yes.
It's time to start thinking about a C horn.
A what?
A C horn.
Oh, yeah.
What do you know about C horns?
That when you play it open, the C comes out.
Alright, here's why you do that. Pretty much when you go to college, if you're studying with somebody there, they can help you get that. There's a couple tubas that are coming out. The Eastman makes a really nice C tuba. But here's the difference. Look at your first valve. Look at the slide on the first valve. How much tubing is there?
I don't know, like
A couple feet, isn't it?
What?
It's a couple feet.
Yeah.
So the idea of playing a C tuba is we're actually taking 2 feet off the length of the instrument. So the difference between the length of the mouthpiece and the bell, it's 2 feet shorter. So the response time. So you play this as well as I've ever heard it played on a B flat. But if you played it on a C, it would just, you doing nothing different would be a lot cleaner, and you would have to work a lot less to make that happen. So at some point, if you know where you're going to school, make contact with that tuba professor and start saying, I need a C. And they are really good at finding them. They can dig them up out of attics, they can dig them up out of, kids that they had, several years ago and they're not playing anymore. They can find you something. Obviously something new is $12,000 to $15,000. I mean, the Eastman tuba, it's only about $5,000, and it plays like a $10,000 horn. Definitely something to look at, but that's the school's horn, right?
Yeah.
So when you go away in college, especially if you're majoring, you're kind of expected to walk in with one.
Yeah.
This is the first time. Everybody else in your band group pretty much has, at this level, their own instrument.
Yeah.
But I'm a tuba player as well. That's why I'm kind of giving you all this advice.
Okay.
I walked in at Florida State, and I'm like, cool, where's my tuba? And Paul Evers looked at me and goes, that's the question, isn't it? I guess so, Mom. So back then, the tube exchange used to be very good at doing everything on consignment. It was up in North Carolina. So in my 1980, I had a vet in college. I had a Chevy Chevette in college. It's a real junker car. But I used to say, I drive a vet. Well, it's a Chevette. It's awful. So I drove that thing, and I prayed he'd get me to North Carolina. I sat down, and I bought my first horn up there. Stick with your good name brands, but that's the only thing that I could say that would make this better is get you on equipment that's made for solo tuba.
Okay.
And that's made for putting the beefy bottom on a concert band.
Yeah.
So you're doing very well with something that's not made to do what you're doing.
Thank you.
Wish you luck.
Thank you.